Hello everyone, welcome to Dirt Ashes Stories. Today we're going to read this book. It is called Jethro, Byrde, Fairy Child. Wait, before we start the story, welcome our very old companion, Mr. Ben. Hello everyone, today I'm going to watch you. How are you doing? And also, make sure you subscribe to this channel and smash the subscribe button if you want more videos like this. And make sure you like. Now, food on, let's start. Jethro, Byrde, Fairy Child by author Bob Graham. Jethro, Byrde, Fairy Child, author Bob Graham. Annabella's dad had little time for fairies. Sadly, Annie, he said, you won't find fairies in scent and weeds. So far as I know, Annabella had lots of time, and every day she looked, even under her brother Sam. One Saturday, something bounced off the service station driveway and hit the fence. Just where the weeds poked through, Annabella parked her taxi, and with the fares uncollected, she went through to see. There, she met a boy as big as her finger. His wings shivered in the breeze. Who are you? She said. He hitched up his jeans, flew onto a leaf, and wiped his nose on the back of his sleeve. Jethro, he said. Jethro, Byrde, I am a fairy child. What Annabella saw next made her hold her breath. A roadside hot dog van had dropped from the sky and lay among the bottles and cans. A family of fairies heaved and pushed. Help us! Here, will you please? Came a voice from the weeds. Annabella gently put out her hand, set the van back onto its wheels. Thanks, said the voice. And to whom do we owe this pleasure? Jethro's dad, often Byrde, bowed deeply from the waist. He means, what's your name? Said Jethro. Annabella. Annabella said. She let out her breath, making Jethro's mum hair ripple like grass in a windy field. What a lovely name, said Lily Byrde. She kissed Annabella on the cheek. That was one of Offin's not so good landing, said Grandma Byrde. Nearly hit the top of the service station, added Lily. Offen looked cross. Well, we all agreed to come down for tea, said Offen. And to feed baby Cecily, said Lily. Cecily was as big as a fingernail. My mom will make you tea, Annabella said. Lily's bells and bangles tingled around her ankles. We would love to come to tea, she said. Let's go, said Jethro. He did a backward air skate over the fence. Mummy and Daddy, this is Jethro Byrde. He's a fairy child, and his family have come to tea, said Annabella. We must make them welcome and make them tea, said Mom. But she was looking the wrong way. Can you see Jethro, Daddy? Annabella asked. I think I can, Annie. I think he's on the fence. Why doesn't my dad see you? Annabella asked Lily. He's too grown up, Annabella, she replied. He doesn't have time for fairies. Do you have time for fairies, Mummy? Annabella asked. I got time to make a friend's tea, replied Mum. Or maybe they have a magic wand? Can you make magic? Annabella asked. The Byrde shook their heads. We just make hamburgers, said Orphan Bride. Annabella's mom bought fairy cakes and chamomile tea in fairy cups. Annabella gave cake to all her guests. Your mom's cakes are charming, said Lily. Enchanting, said Grandma. Magic, said Orphan. They had second helpings and refilled their cups with tea. Only Annabella's dad left his tea untouched. His fingers moved over his keyboard. Click-tick, click, clickety, click, clickety, click. Orphan Bride's foot began to tap. He wiped his fingers and reached for his bag. Inside was a tiny fiddle, dark red-brown like a chestnut. As his bow hit the string, his fingers started flying. That afternoon, for Annabella, time stood still. Orphan played reels and he played jigs. Lily danced with her charms and bracelets, thinking like wind chimes. Jethro played a silver whistle, his sneakers sliding in cake crumbs. Baby Cecily slept soundly, while Grandma sang a slow, sad song, clear as a church bell. No one sings sweeter than a fairy, said Orphan, unless it's the lark in the morning, Grandma replied. We must go, Orphan said at last. Annabella's hands flew to her face. But you can't, she said. Oh, you can't possibly, she added. Go, I mean. Where to? To make hamburgers at the fairy travelers' picnic, said Jethro. We go every year, and all my aunts go. They all smell of roses and hug me, and they have damp handkerchiefs. And the flies bite me, and it's hot and itchy, and I have to run in the races, and I always come last. And the prize for coming last is a silly plastic cup. And I don't want to go. Maybe Jethro could stay with me, Annabella said. We need you, Jethro, said Lily, to help make the ice creams. And his aunts, they'll want to see Jethro again. It's been a whole year, said Grandma. Last year, you won a beautiful plastic cup, said Orphan. Jethro sulked a bit, then said, maybe, just maybe, Annabella could come with us. I will love to come, said Annabelle. Please take him with you. Annabella waited. The Bride family whispered together. Finally, Jethro took something off his wrist. It sparkled silver in the late sun. It's for you, Annabella, Orphan said. A fairy watching, telling fairy time, and time goes slowly by for fairies, said Grandma. We thank you, Annabella, said Lil, for being kind and caring to strangers like us, added Grandma. And for the fairy cakes, said Jethro. We are sorry we can't take you with us, Lily went on. But fairies are the size and humans are, well, You're just too big. Will you come again? Annabella asked. The fairy watch fitted around her finger. I am sure we will, Jethro replied. Just don't forget to win the watch. And keep looking, said Lily. Annabella carefully put the van on the driveway. The engine coughed and spluttered. Wild flowers burst from the tailpipe. And for those who had time to look, the small van gathered speed. It bumped over the cracks in the concrete and slowly left the ground like a swan in flight. The van cleared the service station roof and headed out west into the gathering dust. Look at my wing, Daddy. It's a fairy watch telling fairy time, said Annabelle. That's lovely, Annie, replied the dad. He saw nothing, but baby Sammy did. His fingers left cake and icing on the glass. The brides said they were the nicest fairy cakes they have ever eaten, Mummy, said Annabella. Oh, thank you, Annabella, replied her mom. I did find fairies in our cement and weeds, Mummy, said Annabella. And that night, the watch strapped tightly round her finger. Annabella saw more fairies from witch houses, boat houses, caravans, and car parks, from underwood heaps, and high up in blackbirds' nests, from churches and shop windows and department stores after dark, from mountains and valleys, back streets and motorways, from underhedges and bridges. They rode into the moonlight to the fairy travelers' picnic. And long after she fell asleep, their busy chattering and the buzzing of the wings and a faraway music filled her dreams. The end. Well, I hope you like this book, but one more thing. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to have more videos like this. And of course, Mr. Bay wants to talk to you again. Hello guys, did you like the story? Oh well, I love the story. I love this story because it is very, very nice. And it tells about being nice to each other and having friends. But also it tells about fairies. Well, bye everyone. And today we finished our book. And once again, it's called Jethro Byrde, Fairy Child. The author is Bob Graham. Bye everyone. Check out our other books in Dash Asher Stories.